Let's stop pretending this is all coincidence. Governments don't quietly prepare ballots when everything's fine. They don't rehearse election excuses when they're confident. And they don't suddenly harmonize media narratives unless timing matters. What you're watching right now is the warm up, the stretching, the don't worry about it phase. An election isn't announced, it isn't admitted, but it's being set up right in front of you. Let's get into it. All right, let's start with the boring stuff, because the boring stuff is always the tell. Elections Canada ordered around 700,000 ballot and tally sheets. That came out of Jasmine Lane. This isn't a rumor. This isn't vibes. This is printing ballots. You don't just do that just in case. You do that because someone told you to get ready. Blacklocks has been circling this for weeks. Logistics moving quietly, groundwork being laid before anyone's supposed to notice. Then right on cue, the Globe and Mail publishes a helpful little piece about Doug Ford advising Mark Carney that securing a majority would bring about economic stability. Oh, good. Stability. That word always shows up right before you're asked for another mandate. This is the same playbook every Westminster government uses. Deny, soften, leak concern, then suddenly it's your fault for not wanting an election. And it's funny how this all happens right after a cash handout and right before all the hard questions. Here's Carney's problem. He already has a mandate. It's a minority one, and he's done almost nothing with it. No trade breakthrough, no cost relief, no housing relief. What he has done is burn time and patience. So now he needs a story. Something that sounds noble, something that sounds unavoidable. That's why you keep hearing economic stability and uncertain times repeated like mantra. This isn't messaging for later, it's being test run right now. If people nod along, the election gets called. If they don't, they tweak the wording. That's why legacy media suddenly remembers how to be helpful. Now let's talk about the part they really don't want stitched together. Jimmy Lai, 78 years old, pro-democracy figure, sentenced to 20 years in prison in Hong Kong. Reuters covers it, AP covers it, BBC covers it, the UK responds with clarity, strong language, condemnation. Canada's response? Disappointed. That's the whole sentence. Now, here's what they hope you don't line up on the timeline. 2 weeks earlier, Canada expanded engagement with China. The RCMP entered cooperation discussions flagged by Blacklocks. And Mark Carney personally went to Beijing to talk about security and the New World Order. So Canada gently scolds China for jailing journalists while quietly deepening ties with their state security apparatus? So that's not a mistake. That's not ignorance. That's calculated silence. And election timing makes that silence much easier to get away with. You see where we're going with this now? So now let's talk about workers. The people that keep name dropping while doing the opposite. More than 1,500 GM workers in Ontario have been laid off or have received layoff notices over the past year. Side note, why did they use a photo of Pierre for this article? Why would they use a photo of Mark Carney or Doug Ford? Pierre has nothing to do with this. This is just silly, hilarious media manipulation and mind games that they play on people. Like, we just get bludgeoned with this stuff. This is nuts. Anyways, I digress. So we got GM layoffs, shuttered shifts, jobs leaving Canada. See, this is not an opinion. This has been reported extensively by Global, City News, CTV, CBC, everybody. Everyone's talking about this. At the same time, the federal government rolls out an auto strategy that allows Canadian tax dollars to subsidize EVs, including American-made vehicles during a trade war. See, read that slowly. Auto workers are openly saying, do not use our money to subsidize U.S. jobs. The government responds with a lecture about electrification and global alignment. So Canadian jobs disappear, taxpayers fund production elsewhere, and if you object, you're told you're anti-progress. This is the audacity of all of this. but let's keep electing these people. Yes, perfect plan. And then we got this post from Ryan Garrettson. Nothing says accountability, transparency, and democracy more than the liberals wanting to remove cameras during question period. I guess all of us exposing their behavior and non-answers is getting to them. And he's 100% right. Governments don't hide the process when they're proud of it. Less camera time means fewer clips. Fewer clips means fewer receipts. Fewer receipts means fewer problems during a campaign. Transparency is great, right up until it becomes inconvenient. All right, now I'm going to throw some numbers at you that are going to make you all uncomfortable. Okay? Are you ready? Here we go. Canada spent $45 to $65 billion in a single year on immigration-related costs. This breakdown comes from Elliot Dagno. Now let's do the math. That's about $125,000 to $157,000 per Canadian-born child if the same money went to families here. Let's get into this. Check this video out.
Guys, this is insanity. We are prioritizing foreigners over our own people. In 2023, Canada spent an estimated $45 to $65 billion on immigration-related costs across federal, provincial, and municipal governments. That total includes asylum housing, settlement services, healthcare, education, enforcement, and transfers to municipalities for managing the intake.
I don't know about you guys, but I almost threw up after I watched that. So there's no program in this country, none, that supports Canadians at anything close to that scale. We're told immigration supplements growth. The spending shows it replaces it. And Canadians are told to tighten belts, lower expectations, and stop asking questions. This is not compassion. This is complete denial. This system needs a massive overhaul. Now let's put it all together. Ballots ordered. Media softening the ground. China contradictions buried. Job losses reframed. Cameras reduced. And spending defended with slogans. They don't want debate. They don't want momentum. They don't want scrutiny. They want timing. And when the election is called, the justification will be familiar. Uncertainty, stability, leadership. Same script, different year. Okay, so here's what to watch for the way I see it. Sudden national moments, perfectly timed economic announcements, more moral lectures, fewer direct answers, and when the election finally drops, don't let anyone pretend this came out of nowhere. They've been laying the track for weeks. You just have to pay attention. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.